How is everyone? This is what we got. We got a cut and leave. Also, a little bit of tree damage here. This tree right here fell, and we are just throwing it into the woods for them. And then we're cutting some trees down like this. We're cutting a good bit, like a little buffer. So yeah, that's the plan for today. This actually fell and there was no wind or anything. It just fell. Thankfully no one got hurt, because they were actually out here a couple hours prior to when it fell. But no one got hurt, which that's the good thing, and that's the important thing. But we are going to cut a couple trees first to probably make an area to throw stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get started.
Alright, I'll click you. I'm gonna start cutting again. Can you set me up that rope? I'll tie it on now on the back side of the tree. So, can you set me up the rope so it's ready? I'll tie it right here. And yeah. But I honestly don't think I could have made it go that way. It worked out pretty good. I got it to clear everything I needed it to clear over there, and worked out really good. So I just gotta go down, take that lead off, then we can follow the rest of the stick this way. I'm gonna follow it with that piece on there. I'm just gonna leave it on there. How's that? How was that? Good. All right, I think it's on my rope. Yeah, look how much it stood back up again. I'll chunk a couple logs. I'll click you in for that. Close. I don't know if it's laying flat. Gonna have to flip it. Flat. Flat. Flapjacks. Flat jocks. Let's see here. This back out. Go right below that knuckle. Do a looping face. I'll get it to land flat, I bet. Maybe not. I'm getting closer. Closer. That leans that way. It wants to go that way. I'll put it right there, but let's see if I can get it to go flat. Okay, let's see if I can get it to go flat. Nope. Close. As soon as it left my hand, I felt it. That wasn't gonna go flat. So, right where my safety is, that is 75 feet in the air. Well, a little more, because my rope's 150 foot. And I couldn't reach the ground, so yeah. Headache! Good? Here it comes. Very nice. Yeah, wait till you see this stump up here, what I did to it. It's pretty gnarly looking. Yeah, that was very nice. Good job. Alright, the rope's untied. Oh, I got it out from underneath it. So it had to lean this way right here, and we took it right here. I came in on this side first and slowly cut it, and then came to the back side, and this is way thinner, and I had it going into these, and then I cut it off towards the end, and it helped roll it right into the hole. Just realized I never filmed an outro. So job went pretty smooth. So that white oak branch broke off, and like I said, when we first were there, they were actually sitting there a couple hours. Her and their one daughter were sitting there. Her and the baby were sitting there a couple hours prior to it falling, and you know, thankfully no one got hurt. So they wanted us to cut down about a little more than 10 yards from the fence slash retaining wall back, which we did. They were very happy with everything, and we just left everything down in the woods, which they don't use that part anyway, so they were okay with that. But if you're in the North Georgia area, we'd love to cut your trees. And if you like this content, you know, give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps us out a lot, and it keeps us going. And I'm still working out the fine details. I've just been so busy, and it's hard for me to do everything by myself to figure out the whole merch thing and all that. But it is coming, don't worry. But yeah, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode.